Hey Bookies! Today we are going to go over my March anticipated releases. So let's get started. I have like 2% left on this battery, so this is going to be super quick. But here's a list of books that I'm anticipating that are releasing in March. Again, we are in the middle of a HarperCollins strike still because they will not work with the strike workers. So I won't mention books that are on or that are being published by HarperCollins, but I will not, go into much detail, and they will be listed down below. Please support the authors, but hold your reviews and promotions and stuff for those books. The first book that we have is The Jump by Brittney Morris, who is the author of Slay and The Cost of Knowing. It is an action-driven, high-octane novel about a group of working-class teens in Seattle who join a dangerous scavenger hunt for a prize that can save their families and community. Another one is Chloe and the Kaishao Boys by Coyiuto. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry. But it's When Dimple Met Rishi meets Love Boat Taipei. It's a hilarious YA rom-com about a Chinese-Filipina girl in Manila whose father sets her up on a marathon of arranged dates in hope of convincing her to stay close to home for college. This one I am super excited about. It is Rosewood by Sayantani, DasGupta. I'm so sorry. I know I butchered that. But this one, I think it's a Sense and Sensibility retelling. Sorry about that. I had to let y'all charge for a little bit. Anyways, the next book is There Goes the Neighborhood by Adia. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry. But it says 15-year-old Ray and her best friends Zeke and Malachi are South LA born and raised, but a recent wave of gentrification has been transforming the place that they call home. When an eviction notice from a greedy landlord threatens to split up the crew, Ray and her friends manipulate social media to form a fake gang in hopes of scaring up developers. Their scheme appears to work at first until a murder is pegged on a non-existent gang. Yikes. I'm also anticipating Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. Another one is Royal Blood by Aimee Carter. An American girl becomes the British monarchy's greatest nightmare in this thrilling new series where royal scandals just get deadlier. The Immeasurable Death of You by Maria Ingrande Mora by Peachtree Teen is coming out in March. And it's about 15-year-old Bryn who can't stop thinking about death, her intrusive thoughts, and severe anxiety. Hello, I have some severe anxiety as well. Leave her feeling helpless and hopeless. So after her mom interprets one of Bryn's blog posts as a suicide note, she takes extreme measures, confiscating Bryn's phone and blocking her from internet access. And banishing her to stay with her father, who lives off the grid in a houseboat in the Florida mangroves. Oh God! Isolated from her online friends and her only friends, Bryn resigns herself to a summer of mind-numbing boredom and loneliness until something happens. And the cover looks amazing. We're also getting The Moonlight Blade by Tessa Barbosa from Entangled Teen, which is by Filipino-Canadian writer, and it's about a girl who is cursed by the sins of her past lives, who enters a deadly competition in a desperate attempt to save her imprisoned mother, only to come face to face with her immortal enemy, who is tasked with destroying her once and for all. The Renaissance of Gwen Hathaway is coming out, and I've seen it floating around a little bit, and I'm excited. Since her mother's death, Gwen has been determined that nothing in her life will change ever again. That's why she keeps her extensive list of journals, has only one friend since childhood, and looks forward to a monotony of working at the Ren Fair circuit with her father, until she arrives at her mother's favorite in the tourist shop, to find the fair is under new management and has completely changed. Enter the Body by Joy McCullough, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, I'm sorry, is coming out, and it says, in the room beneath the stage's trapdoor, all of Shakespeare's tragically dead teenage girls, Julia, Ophelia, Cordelia, and others, compare their experiences and retell the stories of their lives in their own terms. We also have The Memory Eater by Rebecca Mahoney coming out, which is about a teenage girl who must save her town from a memory-devouring monster. It feels very like a Monster Calls, because I know it deals with grief and trauma. So I'm excited. The next new Syrian Girl, which I just got an arc of by Ream Shukairy, is coming out. Khadijah is a Syrian-American high school senior raised on boxing and football. Saddled with a monstrous ego and a fierce mother to test it, she dreams of escaping her sheltered life to travel the world with her best friend. But then she meets a Syrian refugee named Lane, doing her best to adjust to the wildly unfamiliar society of suburban Detroit high school while battling panic attacks and family pressures. We also have Stateless by Elizabeth Wein coming out. When Stella North is chosen to represent Britain in Europe's first air race for young people, she knows all too well how high the stakes are. As the only participating female pilot, it'll be a constant challenge to prove she's a worthy competitor, but promoting peace in Europe feels empty to Stella when civil war is raging in Spain and the Nazis are gaining power. And when, right from the start, someone resorts to a cutthroat sabotage to get ahead of the competition, it's going to lead our main character down a certain path. Midnight Strikes by Zeba Shanaz. I know, mispronouncing things. I'm sorry. I have a speech impediment and I'm ignorant, so please correct me. I am always up for correction. But this is a fantasy debut with a time loop twist. And I kind of want to keep this a little bit secret for me because I want to go into it completely blind. We also have The Witch and the Vampire coming out. And While You Were Dreaming by Alicia Ray. Lucha of the Night Forest by Taylor K. Masia is coming out, which is about a girl willing to do anything to protect her sister, even if it means striking a dangerous bargain. Dark forces, forgotten magic, and a heart-stopping queer romance makes this a must-read for me. Free Radicals by Lila Reeson is coming out, which is about an African-American girl who gets a whole lot more whose life gets a whole lot more complicated when she accidentally exposes the family's secrets, putting the family back in Afghanistan in danger. Brighter Than the Sun by James Aleman is coming out, which is about a teen girl named Sol who wakes up at the break of dawn in her hometown in Tijuana, Mexico, makes a trip across the border to go to school in the U.S. And this is going to be about that commute and everything. Edited by Barry Liga is coming out, which I thought sounded so interesting. Part of the synopsis says, don't read this book, and I now want to read this book. Reverse psychology at the best. Whistleblower by Kate Marchant is coming out. It's about a young journalist who fights for the truth to come to light, even when it means she might lose everything. The Last Sunrise in Eterna by Amparo Ortiz is coming out, which is about a golf girl who would love to spend all day watching music videos, but to help support the family, she has to scavenge and sell elf corpses to a sketchy university professor. And oh my god, does that not sound impressive? A Door in the Dark by Scott Richton. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm so sorry, Scott. Speech impediment. Hell of a bitch. But it is One of Us is Lying meets A Deadly Education in this fantasy thriller that follows 6 teenage wizards as they fight to make it home alive after a malfunctioning spell leaves them stranded in the wilderness. I love Scott's work. And the last one that I'm going to talk about that I'm anticipating is In Nightfall by Suzanne Young. Which is about the quaint town of Nightfall, Oregon, in which you shouldn't be afraid of the dark, you should be afraid of the girls. It is the Lost Boys meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this propulsive novel from the New York Times bestselling author of The Treatment. And yeah, that is everything that I am anticipating for March. It seems like it's going to be a pretty good month for new books. And yeah, so thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!